Hello, guys. My name is Adrian Raj. I am currently a sophomore at UT Austin and studying aerospace engineering. I'm also one of the Lucy Mission ambassadors for NASA, where I promote the importance of Lucy Mission to American citizens and through presentations and online content creation. So, my talk will be about persistence and ambition and how to master it and why it matters. So, to start off, I started my career like in this position as a junior in high school. I think it was like March 2023. And at the time, I didn't really know much about professionalism or career development. I just wanted to get a start in that. And when I got on LinkedIn, the first thing I saw was that so many of my peers were so much more ahead of me than I was. And that really intimidated me because college applications were coming up, and I felt that I was so behind. I didn't know what to do. But then I realized that the only thing I can do about it was either I can do something about it or I don't have to do anything about it. So I decided to start finding stuff to do, whether it's like anything related to what I wanted to do in college or and beyond. I started cold emailing people. I started connecting with people and started networking on LinkedIn and in person. And that really helped me get into UT Austin, I believe. And that really helped me set the foundation for what's next to come. When I did get to college, I got rejected from every technical organization on campus related to aerospace engineering, and that really made me feel worthless or maybe hopeless. But I managed to get some organizations, but they weren't what I initially intended for. But I managed to grow in them and continue persisting and saying like, okay, what do I want? And this is what I wanted is to grow and develop and keep learning from every opportunity and mistake I had made. So after a while, I started to get into online content creation. I started doing Instagram Reels, Snapchat stories, and LinkedIn posts, and that really blew up like in a good way. I got a lot of people messaging me asking for advice and help on career development, interview preparation, resume tailoring, and all that. And I've helped people get into dream schools such as Northeastern, Stanford, Rice, and UC Austin. And I've helped a lot of people with their journey, and I'm currently just applying. I'm currently have an interview with an aerospace company Wednesday morning, which I hope I'll get. But nonetheless, the overall that's a backstory about me. But the most important thing is what I'm talking about, which is persistence and ambition. When I was born with autism spectrum disorder, which is basically a condition where you have trouble speaking, learning, and communicating with other people, and that has affected my entire life. That has affected all my decision making, my thinking habits, and how I interact with other people. I was told that I was going to be a failure in life. I was told that I was not going to achieve anything, that I may end up in like an assisted living facility. I was constantly ostracized, bullied, excluded just because of my condition, just because of being different. And that really made me feel down, made me feel like excluded and alone. But my parents and my counselors like saw something more in me, and they encouraged me to persist and continue on. So I did just that with a lot of years of social therapy and time and practice. I managed to be able to talk. I mean, I had a speech delay when I was 3 and I couldn't talk until I was like 5 or 6 years old. And from that point on, I just persisted with everything I did. And I just was, ambitious in everything I did as well, just going for anything I can get, whether it's a position, whether it's an opportunity, whether it's a program I want to do, whether it's something I'm already in but want to keep getting more, I keep doing that. And a lot of people actually think that this is not really necessary in life, but in a time like this where everything's ultra competitive, where everything is hard to get, even if you have all the minimum qualifications and preferred qualifications for like a job, an internship, or even an organization, you're probably not going to get it. And I've experienced this so many times in my life, and I'll probably experience that a lot more. But the only way to persist and to persist and keep going is just to ignore and the doubt, and but also learn from your mistakes. So personally, what I like to do is simply just okay, like focus like okay, if I get rejected from like an internship or something, I'll be like, okay, it's okay. It's just one rejection that doesn't define who I am. It doesn't define my skill set, my ambition, or my qualifications. It's just they didn't like me, and that's okay. There's a lot of other opportunities to achieve and go after. So, and what I did was I decided to change my approach to this kind of thing. So, the interview that I talked to you guys about earlier Wednesday morning, that was done through a referral. I cold emailed, but also done a lot of things that also had it was also related to persistence and ambition, and that really helped me to get this interview offer. And I think that even though I may or may not get it, it's still a learning opportunity. It's still something I can apply through the rest of my life in terms of knowing and how to grow. And I believe that it's very important. So a lot of people come to me asking for advice because a lot of people, some of the smartest kids you'll ever meet in your life, people that are talented, have a lot of passion for things, a lot of them come to me and they tell me that I don't think I'm ready. I don't think I'm ready to go to college. I don't know if I'm going to get in this organization or get this internship. And I always tell them, I was in the same spot as you. I was in the spot where I felt alone. I felt worthless. I felt that I didn't know if I was going to get this. I don't know if what's the point of even trying. But I was the perfect student either. I wasn't the best student. I wasn't the most academically gifted or had the best cards, but I somehow still made the most out of it. And when I tell people to talk to me that ask me for advice, is that just focus on yourself, like just block all the noise and focus on like what do you need to do? Like who are you? Like what do you stand for? What do you believe in yourself as? And how do you would you like to see yourself like in the future? Like what do you want? Because had I, for example, not basically done all these things like persisting and being ambitious with my all my endeavors, I would never been on here. I would have never built a brand or a platform or a name for myself. Never got any interviews. Never got any experiences that I've had the opportunity of having. None of them would have happened if I just given up the first place. That would never happened. So when a lot of people come up to me and they're nervous, that's okay to be nervous, but do you control your emotions or are you going to let your emotions control you? That is the real question. So I always ask them that, and I always give a lot of motivation and encouragement for them to keep going. And I recently helped one of my proteges get into Carnegie Mellon for electrical engineering, and he was pretty happy. He thanked me a lot, and that just shows that what I have to contribute and what I have to help people really matters. And that it's also that persistence and ambition, the drive to keep going, even if you think it's not going to happen or you think it's not possible or it's may just be like of reach, but you still have to try because if you don't try, there's 100% guarantee that you're not going to get it. So that's why I encourage everyone to continue being persistent, ambitious in everything you do in your life. And I believe that's it. Thank you.
Yeah, so I think this type of attitude is exactly the type of attitude that we want to have in furthering the future. We want to try to help young people actually motivate themselves, actually push through the adversity. And I appreciate you sharing your own personal story about this as well, because I think it would really inspire a lot of people that may not be the most academically inclined or the most talented to actually push through their struggles and to get to a point where they can actually look back and be proud of all the hard work they've achieved and everything they've committed as well. So thank you for that presentation. And I think we have some questions coming in through the chat as well. So Ethan Hatim.
Yes. So from Ethan, he said, you seem very accomplished throughout your life. How do you keep yourself going and keep finding motivation to continue on?
Well, for me, it's just like I just need to like okay. So what I want because like life is a very constant changing. It's basically very constant. Sorry, life is very good at change. It's a very changing. Sorry, what am I saying? So I'm so sorry. Wait, life is constantly changing, and if you're staying behind, if you're like at the same place you are, the next day it's gonna be a lot different, and you're gonna be behind, and you're not gonna keep up. So what I do is just focus on like, what do I want in my life? Do I want to do great things in my life? Do I want to make the most out of my time, or do I want to sit down and do nothing? And it's a lot of it's hard because I tend to be sometimes lazy, and sometimes I look at other people and I see them being successful and feel like, am I going to achieve that kind of success? Am I going to achieve that kind of worth? But at the end of the day, like that's them. That's what they have accomplished. What are you going to accomplish? Because the only thing you can do is use your time wisely. That's the only thing you control. The only thing you control is yourself. You can't control other people. So what I like to do is like, okay, these people are doing their thing. What do I want to do? What do I want to do in my life? So that's really much how I motivate myself. Yeah.
Awesome.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Thank you.
I think showing through your personal life, the struggles that you've had, and obviously pushing through them, pushing through all those barriers and continuing on, and of course achieving what you've done with the Lucy Mission Ambassadors with NASA,
Yeah.
and of course helping. The greatest thing I see is like helping so many people as well, giving like, I don't know, consulting them, mentoring them. It really shows to your character and the fact that the fact to push through all those boundaries. So thank you so much.
Yeah,
This
I
is
think
very-
there's like a lot of people around the world that actually need something like this to actually help them keep going, because they might not be like the most appreciated by society, or they might not be encouraged to actually keep going. And so when they hear stories like yourself, they actually feel motivated because they see like, if he could do it, then like why can't I? So yeah, this really helps. Thank you so much for your talk. It was very inspiring.
Thank you
course,
so
thank you
much,
so much.
Adrian.
Thank you.
So yes, thank you so much, Adrian. That was an amazing talk, very insightful, and talking about his experience. It was very touching. There is always an opportunity to contribute to the discussions that we have at EnviroCast Geo. If you are interested in attending or even speaking at a future conference, learn more at geo.envirocast.org. We're excited to hear your insights.